Coming to you live from the SplatZone Towers. This is the SplatZones. Welcome back to the SplatZones. We are a monthly videocast / podcast, but we are back for the second time this month with episode 6.5. It's an addendum to our last episode. So as you guys know, Nintendo had a Pokemon Direct today, and we want to just discuss everything that was emerging from this Direct. For you new listeners, I am your host, Nice1983.
And I am your co-host, Mario Afterparty.
And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to dive right in. So basically, this Direct gave us some information, but we're gonna jump back to the 25th. There were some leaked transcripts from the copyright location in Australia, and a blogger found 2 trademarks for Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. This is literally hours before the Direct was going to take place. This kind of set the internet on fire. I bring this up because it seems that lately Nintendo's had issues keeping things under wraps. We've gotten Ryu was leaked one day in advance. The 8-bit Mario amiibo was unveiled weeks ahead of when it was supposed to come out. All these features and all these things that are coming out are getting leaked. Nintendo's got them all, and honestly, I think when stuff breaks a day before, it kind of takes the punch out of whatever Nintendo's trying to do. That being said, let's go ahead and let's just go straight into the Pokemon Direct. So, it's a very short Direct. It was very concise. I mean, they had a point to make. I want to start by saying that this Direct, to me, it was more of a love letter to the fans, if you will. They shouted the fans out a lot in this Direct. It was hosted by the Pokemon company's Ishihara. He's the president. This is the guy that took the Pokemon USA brand after Kimishima left, and he basically built the company into a worldwide powerhouse. Before that, all the Pokemon Company USA did was local translations for the US market, and now they have universal localization. So they do the localizations for America, China, Korea, Asia, and Europe. They do all the translations for those games, and in doing so, they were able to give us simultaneous releases. So Ishihara is, for lack of better terms, this guy is the shit. He literally brought the company forward. All right. Anything to say on that, bro?
Yeah, I was a little disappointed in the length. I really, normally Nintendo Direct is a lot longer than 6.5 minutes, but nevertheless, it still gives us a lot to be excited about. And, let's just get into our speculations about Pokemon Sun and Moon and the very little that we do know about it.
Yeah. So, as Mario After Party said, 2 new Pokemon games, Pokemon Sun, Pokemon Moon, and they were confirmed for this holiday. I'm going to go on a note by saying this is big. And before we even go into the game, I want to say that this is big because beforehand, everybody was speculating on the enhanced version of a Pokemon game. It's always been red, blue, and then a year later, enhanced version, yellow. Gold, silver, year later, crystal. Ruby, emerald, year later, sapphire. There has always been an enhanced version, but we go back to Gen 5, we got 2 different enhanced versions. There is no Z for this X and Y, and for the last year and a half, everybody's been speculating on Pokemon Z, even to the point where the anime is currently being called Pokemon X, Y, and Z. Yet, we were not shown a Z title. We were given Pokemon Sun, Pokemon Moon. Is this the start of a new trend, do you think? We just get rid of the enhanced version and move on to the next generation?
I don't know. Maybe, but it's the first time that they've done that, so it's really hard to tell if they're going to do it again. But I think it was a good move to go on with a whole new generation. I'm excited, and I know they didn't give us a lot to go on based off of the pictures that we saw. I know we both have different speculations about what we think the game might have as far as new features are concerned. But one thing that was confirmed by Miyamoto himself is that Pokemon Sun and Moon is going to be based in Malaysia.
Yeah, and we both stared at those pictures for maybe a good 25 minutes before we did this show. And we were speculating, like, where is the location? Where is the location? And because they always choose some real-world location. I mean, the first 2 games are clearly based in Japan. Gen 5 is completely New York. As being a New Yorker and seeing that map, I was like, holy crap, that's New York. That's home. And then when you get into the city in that game, I'm like, oh man, I just want to go find here and here and here. I was trying to find the real world locations within the game. So Malaysia, that's crazy. And the reason we were kind of going back and forth trying to figure out where it was because I was thinking it was more Africa based on a new feature that they showed in the game is vehicle transportation outside of bicycles. I think this is one of the first time we've seen any real automotives in a Pokemon game. And I was like, that looks like a Jeep. And, in Africa, they take Jeeps on safari, but you brought up the fact that, what was it, there was too much vegetation?
Well, no, I noticed that there were palm trees in one of the pictures where it shows, it looks like it's going to be a water gym. I think you're right. It has all these water Pokemon all across the building, and there's a Horsea fountain, and it looked like it was somewhere that was a little bit more tropical, maybe an island or somewhere. And then, of course, when we found out that Miyamoto tweeted that it's in Malaysia, makes perfect sense. I believe you looked up the hotel that that gym is based off of.
Yeah, it's called the Raffles Hotel. And if you look at the screenshot that was in the video in the direct, it is almost a 1-for-1 remake. They took some liberties there, but they're really minor, even to the point where, I mean, they add the fountain that has the Horsea shooting the water from its spout. It's there. I mean, it's not as intricate as what's in the game, but it's almost a 1-for-1 recreation of the Raffles Hotel, or I guess it's Raffles Hotel. Insane. We also saw, like I said, to go back to the automotives, this is the thing that I speculated heavy on when I saw it right with Mario After Party. There is a fire truck, and on top of this fire truck is a Blastoise, and he's clearly performing the function of the hose. So my speculation was that this might be the first Pokemon game that has a job class system that might become beneficial later in battle. Let's say if you choose the firefighter class and you have a Blastoise, then when you take that same Blastoise into battle, you get a 0.25 water special increase or something of the sort, more similar to a Final Fantasy game, and really giving Pokemon an expansion in the gameplay. As deep as the game is, when you compare it to other RPGs, it's almost basic. I mean, but that same basicness has propelled it and made it an easy entry level RPG. But I would like to see it go further.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to speculate on the new features of the game because they give it so little to go off of. But, I mean, what we do know, is that these games will be coming out this year, holiday season, and it's based in Malaysia. And like you said, there are trucks in this game that look like they're kind of integrating vehicles that you can use instead of just riding around on your bike everywhere. So there are things that we do know for sure about this game. I would say for sure it's going to have amiibo support. There's going to be amiibo integration in this game somehow. I don't know, maybe through toys. It would be kind of cool if they released each one of the starters as amiibo, and you could use it to enhance some sort of feature in the game. But I mean, because the potential with amiibo is limitless, I just wanted to get your perspective and what kind of features do you think that they're going to be using as far as amiibo support?
Man, first off, I love the fact that you brought that up. First off, amiibo is still Nintendo's mini bankroll. It's still kicking ass for them. And it blows my mind to think about the potential that amiibos have in this game. I'm really hoping that if they do go the amiibo route, we get figures and not cards. I know that, with Pokken Tournament, we're getting a Mewtwo card versus like a Mewtwo figure. Hopefully they don't go down the route. Hopefully they put enough in depth into this game that we can get real amiibo integration. I hate to say go the Skylanders route, because we all know Skylanders is a cash grab. So I don't want figures to be tied to like things that you do in the game, but I would like specific move sets or specific moves to be tied to an amiibo. Like when you download a Pokemon from Nintendo, like one of the rare Pokemons like Magearna or the Volcanion that's going to come out later this year, they have moves that are exclusive to those characters. So let's say I get a Pikachu amiibo, and he has a new type of thunder attack that can only be learned with this amiibo. That is a feature I would want to have in the amiibo support for this game.
That's a great idea. I think that would be awesome. Give you exclusive moves through buying the amiibos. That would be sweet.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Amiibo have to bring something to the table. They just can't be there to collect dust. And I have a ton of amiibo. I love my amiibo, and I'm one of the few people that consistently uses his amiibo. Have to. I'm paying for them. They're not just there to look cool, although they do look cool. Something like that. Or maybe even some kind of like challenge mode with the amiibo, like a rare challenge mode, like similar to the Battle Tower. Maybe it could unlock a specific region within the game, similar to how the Zelda amiibo, Wolf Link amiibo is gonna work in the new version of Twilight Princess. That amiibo is gonna unlock a new region. How about that? How about like that can unlock a new region? Just a mini map. And you just plow through it, and you get a nice way to level grind or find some rare items. Like, you get a rare candy for scanning this amiibo.
Speaking of the Battle Tower, the Petronas Towers in Malaysia at one point were the tallest buildings in the world. And those two twin towers that they have there are they look like battle towers. They look like they were made to be Pokemon battle towers, and I wonder if the game's gonna use that. Since they're in Malaysia, that would be pretty neat.
That's the cool thing is that like I know a lot of people like to rag on Pokemon, but they actually do a pretty good job of like world building. The New York that they built for Pokemon Black and White. I know it was called, what was it, the Sinnoh region? Yes, it was the Sinnoh. They called it the Sinnoh region, but it was really pretty spot on. I was seeing stuff that was, the Pokemon version of what things are like in New York. And they do a pretty good job of world building, so I am fully expecting to see them take, Malaysia and really build that world. And I'm also excited to see what kind of Pokemon design comes from that region. Like how do the Pokemon look? The Pokemon Center, I'm looking at a screenshot of the Pokemon Center and it looks freaking phenomenal. I don't know if this is a final design, but it is It is a completely different take on the Pokemon Center than I've ever seen. It is exciting. We didn't see a lot, but man, it's almost like they opened a floodgate just for speculation.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I agree.
Oh, so that was just fun. I mean, I want to go on the names a little bit. Like, we finally evolved past colors and jewelry. So we're calling them Sun and Moon, and the logos are pretty interesting. The full on sun that has this like weird circle in the middle with points. Very cool. I'm wondering what are the significance of the sun and the moon in this particular game.
I'm sure that they'll have something to do with the storyline in this game, but as of now, we really have no idea. But I mean, I like the theme. I think Sun and Moon is that's a nice theme for the game, and I think that that's going to play out pretty nice in whatever story they decide to give us.
Completely agree. So that's pretty much all we have to go on, except for one thing. During the Pokemon Go press conference, they made a pretty big statement. They said that Pokemon Go would integrate with the main series. I'm pretty certain that these are the games that get the integration. These are the games where they figure out how to connect the mobile version of a game with the handheld version. I'm gonna go on record and I'm going to say that the way I think this happens is through Pokemon Go Plus, the wrist accessory. I guarantee you, the bottom of that wrist accessory will say Amiibo. It will say Amiibo on the bottom of it. You scan it into the system, and that is how the cross functionality will come to play. I go on record.
Yeah. Well, aside from that, they also confirmed that you're finally going to be able to transfer your Pokemon from Red and Blue to your Sun and Moon via the Pokemon Bank.
Yeah, that's cool. So tomorrow, they're going to release on Virtual Console Red, Blue, and Yellow. From what I've read about in early releases of the game, it still contains all the fun glitches that we had back in the day. So guys,
nice.
Look ready for some. But when people start transferring to the Pokemon Bank, get ready to see some really OP Charizards and Mewtwo's. Because everybody's going to be hitting up those 99 rare candies. This is cool for me because, I'm not going to lie, these were an instant purchase for my 3DS just because I love that original generation so much. Those first two games, Red and Blue here in America, they got me back into RPGs. They got me addicted on a franchise, and I'm a huge collector, and this game kind of scratches the collecting itch. And it's just addictive, and to this day, the music in that game, the chip tunes from that game are super addictive. Sometimes I go to sleep and I hear the Pokemon Center music in my mind from that 8-bit title.
It is a great time to be a Pokemon fan. We've got a lot of exciting new games coming up. It's going to be awesome that we're getting a Pokemon game that's going to have Amiibo integration. And however it connects to Pokemon Go, it's pretty cool that we're going to have a Pokemon game that you can play on your phone. That's awesome. And then, I'm just happy that, this new generation is going to be out just in time for the holiday season. It's got a great theme, and I'm excited. So I can't wait to see what information they leak out to us in the upcoming months.
Yeah, man, you're absolutely right, man. It is let's be real. I want to just bring this up. The Pokemon Company is a separate entity from Nintendo. The best way to classify them is as a second party that pretty much exclusively develops for Nintendo. And Nintendo has kind of a lackluster way of celebrating video game anniversaries. I know last year we got Mario Maker, but that was kind of it. There was no real celebration of the Super Mario Bros. Franchise. It was just one game, albeit a great game, but that was it. What the Pokemon Company has done for their 20th anniversary is they've put everything out there. They've thrown a plethora of stuff at us. They've given us a lot. They are truly celebrating Pokemon, and not just that, they're celebrating Pokemon trainers, the fans. We had a Super Bowl commercial that was legit dedicated to us. You know, even the trailer for this game, the trailer that was in the Direct, was really directed at the trainers. And I love how, like, they showed a young Japanese boy playing the Game Boy version of Red, and then they started showing little kids and adults playing the game and doing real world things that you associate with the game. So there was a little boy running, and they showed the trainer running in the game. There's a little girl on roller skates, and then they showed the in-game character of Pokemon X and Y roller skating. They showed a group of kids biking, and then they show you the trainer in-game biking. These trailers have really been dedicated to the fans, and they've really made they are celebrating not just 20 years of Pokemon, they're celebrating 20 years of Pokemon trainers. And it's actually kind of, I don't know, lack of a better term, heartwarming to see a company, you know, acknowledge the fan base as strongly as they have, and given us a plethora. Pokemon Go, Pokken Tournament, Pokemon Sun, Pokemon Moon, and the re-releases of Red, Blue, and Yellow. This is a real celebration of being a Pokemon fan. And it's a great time to be a fan, like you said. And I'm super excited to see where this franchise goes, and hopefully it's a franchise that I can share with my kids when I have kids.
Yep. Well said.
All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for this episode. You got anything else to say, brother?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. So, as always, guys, you can hit us up by email at nice1983@gmail.com. You can hit us up on Twitter at nice1983. Go ahead and check out the facebook.com/nice1983gamecollecting. Check out the website, nice1983.wix.com/gamecollecting. And if you're a fan of the SplatZones, which you should be because you're listening, you can always find new episodes of the SplatZones on iTunes, and you can stream episodes on Stitcher Radio. That's it for this episode, guys. And you know how we like to end things here. Stay fresh! Deuce!